you can't give your best when you don't know your best, and you cannot work effectively with others if you don't see who they really are. In my note here, I wrote, awareness is not optional, it is the currency for meaningful living. I'm going to take that again for someone who's writing to say that the core message of tonight's personal transformation seminar, and by the way, personal transformation seminars are quarterly sessions where we talk about issues that cause us to become new people. It is founded on the principle that being precedes doing. It is founded on the principle that being precedes doing. You have to become someone that can do what really produces results, miracles, or phenomenal things. And so it is about being, your innermost person, transforming to enable you do, which will produce the kind of experience that you want. Okay, that's the base for personal transformation seminars. This is the second one in the year, or third. I think it's the second in the year. I don't know, I've lost count now because we do this a lot. So, but today, talking about the power of awareness for personal success, the core message is that you can't give your best when you don't know your best. And you can't work effectively with other people if you don't see who they really are. Awareness is therefore not optional. It is the currency for meaningful living. And I've got an opening story. For those of you who have followed us, who have really been part of some of the conversations I have, you may have stumbled on me talk about, this story a lot. I don't know. It's called the story of the pig, the farmer, the pig, the chicken, and the farmer. Is my famous story, my favorite story when I talk about awareness. When I talk about awareness, this story for me is the most instructive. And I need you, for those of you who have not heard it before, I need you to please pay attention. I need you to please pay attention. And if you've heard it before, perhaps there will be a new light, a new perspective that will be shared tonight. It's a story of good intentions, but it's a story also of missed awareness. Good intentions, but missed awareness. Now, here's the story. There is a farmer who has in his care a pig and a chicken. This pig and chicken is only, call them animals on the farm. They are the only ones that he's keeping on the farm. He's only keeping these two animals. All the others, possibly, are crops that he's farming, and he loves them, and they love him as well. But one day, it happened that the farmer took ill. It took ill to the point where he needed to get some kind of attention. It took ill to the point where he needed to get some kind of attention, and two things happened. The pig and the chicken came together. Excuse me. The pig and the chicken came together and agreed on what to do. They both agreed on what to do. And here it is. They had a shared goal and they had shared principles. They had shared goals and had shared principles. The goal was that they were going to care for the farmer. They were going to care for the farmer. And there were two principles. They were going to take whatever they needed to care for the farmer from themselves. They were going to take it from themselves. There was not going to be any external help whatsoever, meaning they were not going to turn to the crops. They were not going to turn to anybody else. They were not going to turn to anything and anybody else besides themselves. So that was a principle for caring. The second principle was that they were not going to cause harm to each other, meaning whatever they were going to give from themselves was not going to cause any form of harm to themselves. Okay, so a shared goal and shared principle, and they agreed. I mean, they shook hands and they agreed. But time to make a decision, and guess what happened? We realized that they agreed on principles, but not on approach. The first, if you look to your left, what you see there's a bowl of chicken soup. The pig said to the chicken when it was time to decide on what to give. And the pig said to the chicken, let us make him chicken soup. And the chicken said, that is all of me and none of you. All of me and none of you. Why should we give the farmer all of me and none of you? By the way, it doesn't appeal to the principles that we have agreed on. It means I'm going to die. That's harm to me. And the pig said, okay, so what exactly would you also, suggest? And the chicken said, can we make him bacon and eggs? What you see on the right side of your screen. Let's make him bacon and eggs. Bacon and eggs. You cannot make bacon without killing the pig. Yeah, but you can have eggs without killing and causing any harm to the chicken. So, it was 50-50 there. The principle was applied halfway. So the pig still had to die, but the chicken had to live. Now, my friends, that's the problem. Chicken soup versus pork, or what do you call it, bacon and eggs. What would you think should happen here? Can I ask you, what do you think will happen here? And I want my friends here to talk. We are not many here, so I need you to please participate. Don't leave this meeting to yourself, to me alone. It's a personal transformation seminar. It requires that you are involved. What do you think, for those of you who are just hearing this story for the very first time? If you've heard it before, just hold your breath. If you've heard it if you're hearing it for the first time, talk to me, please, if you would. What exactly do you think is a problem here? The chicken said, let's make him bacon and eggs. And the pig said, let's make him chicken soup. Whichever way, what we realize is that they did not apply, these principles was not going to be applicable, because yes, they were going to take things from themselves, but it was going to cause harm to them. Where do you think the problem is, my friends? Where do you think the problem is? Now everybody's keeping quiet. I'm in a physical room. And one day I'm going to bring all of you into a physical room. Doctor, talk to me, please.
So
Doc,
I think
let's hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, very clear.
Okay. So I think when they were agreeing on their principles, they did not consider the approach that will because they were saying they were not going to bring arms to each other, and they were not going to consult external source. But the fact that they didn't consider the approach that will go with what they decided, the approach that would not bring harm to them, that was the problem. Yes, for the chicken, they could give the farmer eggs, but for the pig, he had nothing to give except for when he dies. That's my opinion.
Doc, please continue. I lost you for a second there.
Okay. Let me say it again. So I said they did not consider an approach that would be favorable to both parties and also help them to achieve their goal of caring for the farmer. For the chicken, chicken can easily give the farmer eggs, and there'll be no harm to the chicken. But in the case of the pig, it has to die. It has nothing else to give but its own life for it to give the farmer anything.
I agree. I agree with you. Spot on. You're spot on, actually. Okay. Any other thoughts? They did not agree on the approach. Any other thoughts to share? Is anyone willing to share? Mosu, did you hear the story? I know you came in a little later. Hello, Mosu. Okay, so without wasting time, it looks like tonight is going to be a night for me and for myself and Doc to speak. So, Doc, I think you should just wear your speaking cap. It looks like we're going to be the ones doing most of the talking tonight. So, if you don't mind, don't mind these other people. They want us to be the one talking, but it's fine. Okay, so the tragedy happened that the farmer died. It was not from the lack of care, but from lack of awareness. The farmer died not from lack of care, but from lack of awareness. The farmer died from lack of awareness. What exactly happened? Who did not have what? Who did not have what? The missing ingredient here was this: self-awareness and social awareness. And I need you all to please pay attention. Self-awareness and social awareness. The pig, maybe I should not have shown this slide. I should have asked you a question first, but I'm now showing it. But let me ask you in the chat, did anybody know the pig could lactate? Can I see your hands or your comment? A yes or a no will do it in the chat. A yes or a no will do it. Did you know the pig could lactate? A yes or a no in the chat would do it for me. If you're not going to speak, then you should be able to type. Uyi said no. Mosun said no. Who else is speaking? Who else is typing? I did not even consider the gender of the pig. Yes. Timmy said yes, but it didn't come to mind. Okay. Favor said yes. I knew, but how come you did not say anything? Did you come late to the party? Now the truth is this: the pig didn't know it could lactate. So the reason the pig did not bring anything to the table was not because it wasn't going to be contributive. It wasn't because it didn't care for the farmer. It just wasn't aware of what it could give under the conditions that they had set. On the other hand, thank you all for your comments. On the other hand, the chicken didn't have social awareness because the chicken didn't see the pig's true capacity. And my friends, sometimes this is where we all are stuck. Not because we don't have a dream, not because we don't have a goal, not because we don't have a vision, not because we don't have ambition, not because we don't know what to pursue, but simply because we're not aware of what we can bring to the table. You know, some people jokingly say, when people ask them, what do you bring to the table? They say, I am the table, I am the table. No, I mean, that's a lame response, in my opinion. The truth is, many of us are not coming strong to the place where we need to because we do not know what we are worth. We do not know what we are capable of bringing to the table. We do not know what we are capable of producing. We do not know what we are capable of doing. In fact, we have not discovered and identified our true potential, what we call our North Star. The chicken was no better than the pig, but the chicken knew it could bring eggs to the table. The pig, I mean, for lack of awareness, the pig was going to be either going to be suffering from self-esteem issues after that meeting. Do you know how much the pig will have beaten up itself that if I could give something, maybe this man would not have died. Maybe this man would not have died. He would possibly not have died if I could bring something to the table. And many of us are holding ourselves responsible for lack of success in our individual lives because we're saying you don't even know what you can do. I mean, there are many stories of people who lack self-awareness, people who were given a marching order and they said, hey, I am a child, I cannot do that. I think the story was told of Jeremiah. There was a guy called Jeremiah. And Jeremiah said, how can you ask me to go and take on this bold assignment? I am a child. And I think the word that came back to him says, say not that I am a child. Say not that I am a child. Don't say that you are a child. Many of us have excused ourselves from making bold moves simply because we are not aware of what we are capable of doing. There was a clarion call made to a young man called, I think the young man was called Gideon. Clarion call to Gideon and to say, hey, Gideon, go and lead the army. Go and lead the army. Go do this on our behalf. And Gideon said, hey, in fact, he was given a charge and they called him Almighty Man of Valor. Almighty Man of Valor. Many of us have been given such appellations. People have called you names by which they thought you deserved. But you have rejected such appellations, such embellishments, such, call it elevations. You've rejected it because you just couldn't see. You just couldn't see. Like the pig, you couldn't tell what you can give. Gideon said, hey, come on, let's come to this. Let me tell you what I am. I'm the last child. I'm not just the last child. I'm the last child in my family. I'm not just the last child in my family. He says, my family is the least in my tribe. My family is the least in my tribe. And that's not just it. If you thought that was worse, that's not enough. My tribe is the least of all the tribes that make up this nation. Oh my God. You're asking me to rise up to the occasion to save my nation. I'm sure you don't know who I am. Last born of the family. My family is the least of my tribe. My tribe is the least in this nation. I mean, I'm not qualified. Many of us on this call have disqualified ourselves from the greatness that we ought to be experiencing. We have disqualified ourselves simply because we do not know who we are. We have not been able to identify and come to a consciousness of what we possess. And I'm hoping that tonight, as I share with you how to arrive at awareness, you will go back and chase all those missed opportunities, all those things that you have turned down, all those things that you have given up. You will go back and take them up again. Because, my friend, no one can make you inferior without your consent. The consent that many of us have given out to others, the consent that we have given out to others is the consent that validate our lack of awareness. Many people are living in regret like the pig. Many people are living in regrets like the pig. You know why? Because they have told themselves they have nothing to offer. Perhaps you're on this call and you have come here and you're realizing that you have given up opportunities, you have given up bold steps and bold moves, you have given up clarion calls, you have given up, great chances to do great things. You've given up all of these things simply because you did not even know you could do it. Now let's go on. And we don't want to bemoan that, but I think it was important to validate it. Why does awareness matter? Whether it is self-awareness or social awareness. And I'm going to come back to both things later on. Whether it is self-awareness or social awareness, why does awareness matter? My friend, awareness is the edge of your success. Awareness is the edge of your success. The person that is aware is never bereft of their knowledge of their strength. Because number one, awareness reveals hidden strengths. There is what you possess that you do not know you possess it until you are conscious of your capabilities. Until you are conscious of your capabilities. The story is told of the guys. These guys, they had a promise in their hand. All the odds were in their favor. All the odds were in their favor. They had been told, go into a new city, you're going to conquer it. In those days of conquering and conquest, conquer and conquest. They had gone, they had been told, go into the next city. You will win. You will certainly run over your enemies. And somehow they were not sure. And so their leader said to them, you know what, you guys go and spy the land. Go and spy. Go and spy the land. Go and spy the land. And they appointed 12 people, those you could call leaders, those you could call change makers, those you could call change agents, those you will assume have the capacity, the capability to know what people ought to do. And so, can I tell you today, my friend, many people are not succeeding, even though they're in leadership positions. And that's why some of us you are here on this call, and you're really looking at the people whom you report to at work. And you're saying, I'm my own leader, not taking opportunities. Titles don't do the magic. 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 You know what happened? Those 12 people went to the land. And what did they say? 10 of them came back and said to the people, we are not able to go. Keyword there, we are not able. And what was their reflection? The reflection was that we were like grasshoppers in their sight. Meaning, they looked at other people and they evaluated themselves. They evaluated their ability, they evaluated their capability, their competence, their capacity. They evaluated based on their assessment of their competitor or their opponents. Many of us have magnified our challenges above our capabilities. I know the exam is difficult. I know the exam is a tough one that you're about to face. I know that building project is a big one before you. Yes, I know that job that you have applied for is a mountain before you. I am aware that this particular feat that you are chasing doesn't come easy to anyone. That's the truth. But I'm not asking you tonight to magnify your problems or magnify your challenges. I'm not asking you to magnify the problems, the issues. I'm saying, can you size yourself up and ask yourself, what do you need to overcome this big problem? Awareness reveals hidden strengths. If you will get to the point where you be conscious of what you possess, if you will get to the point where you be conscious that you are not that weak person that others have called you, you are not that non-entity that someone else has called you, you are not that weakling that people think you are, you're not that timid person that other people think you are. You are capable of more. You just have not come to understand and agree that you are. The second thing that awareness does for you is that awareness prevents you from making wrong decisions. Imagine that the chicken knew what the pig could give. And this is where I want to flip the coin here. I've been talking about you being self-aware. The other part is social awareness. Some of us are not able to help our friends because we cannot discover them what they are capable of. Some of us have friends that can do magic. They can't find it, and you also in their lives can't help them find it. And guess what? They take wrong steps. Or even you take wrong steps. The chicken said, let's make bacon. Let's make bacon. Simply because the chicken wasn't socially aware. My friend, your ability to contribute to other people's lives goes beyond you knowing what you are capable of doing to helping them identify what they are also capable of doing. Your life does not consist of what you alone can do. Your life is made meaningful by what you can help others identify for accomplishment. And so when we talk about awareness, it's not just about you identifying what you're capable of doing. It's you being equipped with the tools and the resources to help other people identify what they're capable of doing. For some of you on this call today, you know yourselves. You are aware of what you're capable of, but you are limited in helping other people find their own true north. They can't find their path, and you are here not able to help them. Tonight, I'm hoping that the thoughts I will share will help you identify how to help people and stop you also from making wrong decisions. Many of us have given wrong counsel because we have wrongly profiled our friends. Some of our friends will never find a way out of their lives or their dark times until people like us shed light on their path. There is a friend of yours, there's a relative of yours, there's a sister of yours, there's a brother of yours leaning on you right now for counsel. And some of us are even saying, I've not even helped myself. You want me to help you? The truth is this, you can. You can. And some of us have put heavy burdens on our siblings, heavy burdens on our friends, and we have even told them that they are not what that the relationship that you are in with them is not worth it because they have nothing to bring to the table. Whereas you have a responsibility to help them identify. Where your friend is in the dark, you be the light that can make them see what they've got in their possession. The third thing that makes awareness important is that it helps us to build trust and collaboration. Look at that chicken and the pig. They could not collaborate because one was not self-aware and the other was not socially aware. You know, many of us have good friends around us. We can't find what I call points of continuous engagement because there's no awareness. The moment we meet a friend, the moment we meet an individual or a colleague, even a mentor, someone who has the capacity, the potential to be a mentor, that first point of contact is what I call point of primary engagement. And I need you to note that down. The first contact you have with somebody new in your life is what we call the point of primary engagement. It takes awareness to move from point of primary engagement to point of continuous engagement. Do you know that certain people cannot move beyond just being classmates? They can find something else to do. So some other people cannot find something else to do with another individual beyond the fact that they are just colleagues at work. There is no discovery of what can make them move on to a point of continuous engagement. The people around you are worth much more if you can just become socially aware. There are people who possess what you need. There are people who possess what will complement your own abilities so that you can bring more to the table. But because they are blinded and you also are not equipped to help them, then there's a problem. You're not aware. And some of our friends are suffering because they need us to come to their aid. And finally, why do you need awareness? You need awareness because it aligns values with impact. My friend, it's not enough that you know your values. I don't kill. I give. I sacrifice. I'm a person of integrity. Oh, I'm a very responsible person. I'm very diligent. I'm hardworking. You know, I'm someone who is given to lifelong learning. I'm someone who always builds myself, my own capacity. I build my capability. Oh, I'm someone who is innovative and creative. I'm curious. Whatever it is, those are your values. But you know, how do you ensure that your values, how do you ensure that your values enable you make impact? The reason is awareness is missing. Now let's make progress. let's understand what awareness is. And maybe I'm helping you here. I don't know what side of the coin you sit. Maybe you're on both sides of the coin, but I believe that today's transformation seminar is one that you would draw value from. Okay. Let's look at what is self-awareness. Self-awareness is knowing your strength. It is knowing your weaknesses. It is knowing your values, knowing your triggers, and your hidden potential. Self-awareness is knowing your strength. Self-awareness is knowing your weaknesses. Mark the word is about knowledge, not accepting. It's about knowing your strength, knowing your weaknesses, knowing your values, knowing your triggers, and knowing your hidden potential. How many of us on this call can say affirmatively that we know our weaknesses, that we know our strengths, that we know what our values are? Many of us we have accepted the values of other organizations. I mean, maybe our organization has these core values. We have seemingly adopted them. Many of us do not even know what sets us off. Many of us don't know what sets us off. And some of us here, you don't know what releases your energies. Some of us don't even know what really ticks us off. What gets you angry? What gets you excited? You don't know. And that's why you are not able to create environment for yourself to do more than you're currently doing. You see, self-awareness is being able to identify. The key word here is discovery. It's being able to discover. To discover doesn't mean that something does not exist. It means you want to unearth it. You want to uncover it. You want to remove the lid over it. So knowing your strengths, your weaknesses, your values, your triggers, and your hidden potential. Can I find out in the chat? Can you please respond to me in the chat? If you have ever taken a personality test, a personality assessment test, please write yes in the chat. If you have never taken one, please write no. And Joshua, if you can, help me identify those who are saying no. I have never done a personality assessment, say no. I have never done a personality assessment, say no in the chat. My team members will identify you and we will help you. But if you have, you've made my work tonight very easy. Okay, there's a name there. There's a number. There's Mosun there. Mosun has said no. Timmy has said no. So we're going to pick those names. Tiwalade has said no. Dr. Lubumyoti has said no. Dolakbo, ensure you don't miss out these names. Please, don't miss out these names. If you have never taken one, just say no. We will help you. My team and I will help you. We will administer a test to you, and we will help you interpret it. Okay? We're going to do that for you at no cost to you, okay? At no cost to you. And we're going to do it next month. This coming month, we're going to do it for you at no cost to you. Now, for those of you who said yes, for those of you who have taken a personality assessment test, how many of you have had it interpreted for you? If I have never had it interpreted, say, I don't have an interpretation. I just know my personality type. I don't have an interpretation. I want to see how many people can help in the next coming month. I don't have, because personal transformation seminar for next month would be special for these people. I don't have an interpretation. Forex Apostle, I don't know who you are, so you possibly want to put your name. Okay, Uyi said I don't have an interpretation. Okay, Uyi, you want to put a good name that we can follow through with. Okay. I don't have an interpretation, Ayotunde. Okay, all right. Okay, so it looks like many of you have had the test taken. Okay, Dr. Uyi Osadolo, that's you. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you for joining. I feel so honored having you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So, okay, this is what we're going to do. For those of you who have never, ever, if you have, oh, Samuel Ogbaji, thank you also for joining. Oh my God, great. You guys have just surprised me tonight. Okay, I do have an interpretation. Okay, great. Now, let me give you a free personality assessment test. Joshua, can you drop 41q.com in the chat right away? Joshua, please do drop that link on the chat. I'd like you all to take this personality assessment test on this site. Please take that test on the link that I just been shared with you and send your results. When you take the test, at the bottom of the page, where your results will be given to you, you will see where you can put an email address. Put your email address there. When you're done putting your email address there, forward the results to hello@nathanleadgate.com. Joshua, can you drop that email address in the chat as well? hello@nathanleadgate.com. Go to 41q.com, take the tests, send it to yourself, then forward the email you receive to us at hello@nathanleadgate.com. If we get your result before the end of the month, we will support you in not just understanding that result, we will tell you how you can make the most use of yourself. Okay? We'll tell you how you can make the most use of yourself. So 41q.com is the assessment. Take your test on 41q.com. Send the results to us at hello@nathanleadgate.com, and then we'll help you out from there. Okay? Now let's move on. For the purpose of time. Let's move on. Number 2 part is social awareness. What is social awareness? Social awareness is you understanding others, understanding their perspectives, their needs, and their capacity. Understanding other people. Many of us are not able to draw value from our relationships. You know why? You're not able to draw value from your relationships because you don't know other people. You don't even see things from their perspective. Sometimes you are always perpetually in conflict. And for some of us, you are not just in conflict, you are in perpetual struggle to be understood. You just don't see what others have. You don't see where they stand. You don't know their needs. You don't know their capacities. And these things cut us short all of the time. You're possibly having a relationship with your husband, your wife, or someone you want to get married to, and because you lack social awareness, you're not able to draw value from that relationship. Many of us are not succeeding in our personal lives, in our relationship lives, in our career, simply because we don't understand the other party. You know your own strengths, you know your weaknesses, you know your values, your triggers, and your hidden potential, but you don't know other people's perspectives. You don't know their needs. You don't know their capacity. And you see, many of us, and for those of us who are leaders on this call, guess what happens to you? The moment you know yourself, you are telling other people, this is who I am, and you just have to take me as I am. Take me as I am. This is who I am. No. I think it's about, I want to know what others are. I want to know what moves you as well. I want to know what drives you as well. I want to know what changes you as well. I want to know what you need as well. If we get to this point, my friends, we will be able to draw value and bring value to the relationships that we are in. How Jung said, and the quote you see on that there, it says, until you make the unconscious conscious, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Many of us have called it some things what they call destiny. I say, this is my destiny. It is not your destiny. You just do not understand what is happening to you. Stephen Covey says it's fair to understand and then to be understood. And let's look at 4 lessons from the story that we just listened to. The story of the pig and the chicken. What are the 4 lessons from that story? Number 1, shared goals need personal clarity. For those of you who are leaders on this call, it's not enough to have shared goals with your team members. Shared goals will not always bring shared success. Shared goals do not guarantee success. Shared goals do not guarantee team success. And for those of you who are in relationships, you are in a relationship to get married, you're in a courting relationship, a dating relationship, or even a marital relationship. Shared goals does not mean you guys will succeed. Shared goals does not mean you will succeed. Shared goals require personal clarity. Shared goals require personal clarity. People need to know what their roles are. People need to know what demands are on them, and they need to know that they are capable of meeting those demands. Shared goals do not guarantee team success. Shared goals do not guarantee joint success because shared goals need personal clarity. My friend number 2, I say here that social awareness prevents conflict. Social awareness prevents conflict. The reason many of us are in conflict with one another is because we do not understand. Dolapo is on this call. She's my colleague. Oredola is on this call. She's my colleague. And there are times that we have to come to the point of taking personality tests, interpreting the personality test, so we can understand why we are at loggerheads with each other. I mean, am I sure Ore is on this call? Oredola, are you here? I'm not sure. I thought I saw her earlier. Okay, so Oredola and I work together, and when we realized that we at times are loggerheads, we are not getting along, it was important that we understood each other. We knew we're not both wicked. We knew we're not both wicked. We also knew we're not both irresponsible. We're not irresponsible people. We wanted to succeed as a team. We're not wicked people who didn't want the other party to also succeed. But we realized that we're always in conflict. But I mean, we needed to be aware. Ore sat down one day and told me, Doctor, I don't like the way you give feedback. I don't like the way you give feedback. I never knew the way I was giving feedback was hurting her. I didn't know. And so guess what? I've changed, or I'm changing. I don't know. She's the only one I can tell if I'm changing. Well, I think I am. All right, Ola, am I changing? She's left the call. Okay, she's not here. I'm changing. I believe I'm changing. We have to take a personality assessment, right? We had to take a personality assessment, and from there, we understood where our point of conflict was. Self-awareness, my friends, expands your options. Sometimes we are demanding from ourselves what will hurt us because we don't know what we can easily and cheaply give. Self-awareness expands your options. Imagine that the pig knew it could lactate. It would have offered itself. I mean, it could have offered its milk to the farmer. Self-awareness expands options. The final lesson I want us to take from this story is this. Principles need awareness to succeed. It is not enough to say we will take from ourselves, we will not take from anybody, we will not cause harm to ourselves. Some of us live our lives by principles, but we are not aware. You have told yourself, my principle, I have a principle that I don't, what kind of principle? Let me even say this kind of principle. Okay, my principle is that I will always give. I'll be a benevolent person. Oh, great. You want to be a benevolent person, but guess what? You don't have enough resources to even give. How then do you become a benevolent person? Are you aware of your capability, what you have to give? You have said you want to give, but you have not even discovered what you're capable of giving. And many of us do not follow through with our principles, not because we are not willing. We do not follow through with our principles because we are not even aware of what we can do to empower those principles. Your principles are not the high things that you cannot attain. Rather, it is awareness that you need to enable you give life to those principles. Now, let's try to close tonight. I'm going to give you a framework. I'm going to give you a framework, and this is my awareness to success framework. Anybody who knows me very well will know that every time I share thoughts, I always like to give frameworks. I think it's one of my greatest delights, just to create a framework for you that you can use. And this framework is going to give you 6 questions. 4 outcomes to look out for, but 6 questions. The first item on this framework is the principle of discovery. Discovery. And now, how would you discover yourself? We've been talking about discovery. There are 2 questions I want you to ask yourself. Who am I? You see, the question of identity helps you to get clarity. And remember what I'm asking you to do here. You must identify your strength. That question, who am I, is who am I in terms of my strengths? Who am I in terms of my weaknesses? Who am I in terms of my values? Who am I in terms of my triggers? Who am I in terms of my hidden potential? Who am I? By the time you take that test that we gave you the link on, Joshua, you want to drop it again for those who just joined. We're saying take a test on 41q.com. And then for the results, we will be able to give you an opportunity. We'll give you an opportunity in a one-on-one session to help you get clarity. Guiding question number 1, who am I? And guiding question number 2, what do I have? Sometimes we go seek help from prophets because of a personal challenge that we have, not knowing that right there in our houses, we've got the jar of oil that is the key to solving our problem. It is our awareness, your ability to be conscious of what is available. That's what enables some of us to succeed. Many of us have become victims of seers, have become victims of inspirational, call it motivational soothsayers. We have become victims of prayer altars, not because those altars are not good enough, but you've not even been able to unlock your own consciousness of the things that you have. And I'm asking you today, the first key to awareness towards success is to discover, ask yourself 2 questions. Who am I and what do I have? Who am I and what do I have? The second thing is to observe. Observe other people. Ask yourself, who are they? What do they carry? Who are they and what do they carry? Not everyone is a non-entity. Some difficult people also have got great potential that you require. The story is told of a man who was in time of famine, directed to go to the brook, Cherith, to go and drink from the brook. The brook was like a stagnant water, right? He went there to drink of the brook. And we are told that mystically, a bird, a raven bird, a ravenous bird, always brought him bread in the morning and in the night. Now, if you know the nature of a raven, if you know the nature of a ravenous bird, the ravenous bird is one who had the capacity to search for things even in the most hidden places. But that same raven bird had the bad behavior of not sharing. Excuse me. The raven does not know how to share. The raven does not know how to share. He knows how to find, but he does not share what he finds. But guess what? It was the raven's nature, the portion of his nature that knows how to find, that was useful to this man. The raven always found food, even in scarcity. Who are the people around you? Who are they and what do they carry? What are they capable of doing? My friends, sometimes you are sustained not by your own potential, not by your own capabilities, but by the capabilities of those in your circle. And you will not be able to tap into the capabilities of those in your circle. You will not be able to tap into the capabilities in your circle until you are able to identify that the people in your circle possess such capabilities. My friends, many of us don't know what our network can offer. That is why we suffer. Many of us suffer because we don't know what our network can offer. And many of us don't know what we have until we ask those we know. You don't know what you have until you begin to ask those you know. There are things that you are looking for so far away that is within the relationships you currently cultivate. That's why you must ask yourself those guiding questions. Who are the people around me and what do they carry? The outcome of these guiding questions is empathy. You'll be able to see things from people's perspective. You'll be able to identify their own line of thought and their perspective. Number 3 in this framework is alignment. Always ask yourself, are my actions aligned with values and context? Are my actions aligned with values and context? The outcome of this is integrity. Are my actions aligned with values and contexts? Sometimes we let go. We just do what comes to us. I mean, look at how could the pig have recommended chicken soup, knowing that it was going to kill the pig and the chicken? How could the pig have recommended chicken soup, knowing that it was going to kill the chicken? Many of us have gone ahead to take actions that are injurious to our colleagues, to our friends, to other people in our lives, not because we are wicked people, but because we are not aware. And because we are not aware, it doesn't align with our values. How did the chicken itself also recommend that it eat bacon? How? Simply because there was no alignment. The 4th element of this framework is to contribute. Always ask yourself, what value can I add without losing myself? So many of us have stretched ourselves beyond our limits, given beyond what we can offer, and then we have lost. You have given what you don't have, or you have given beyond what you have capability of letting go. Some of us have gone to borrow for other people's joy. Some of us have gone extra mile, you call it, to give people the things they desire at the detriment of your own life. I'm saying to you today, as you look to contribute, ask yourself, what value can you add without losing yourself? That is where you find meaning. Imagine if the pig and the chicken had been aware, the farmer will have lived. Can I say to you today, my friends, there are opportunities, relationships, and dreams around you right now. They don't need more effort. They need more awareness. There are opportunities, relationships, and dreams around you right away, right now. They don't need more effort. They need more awareness. It's either self-awareness, your ability to understand your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, or social awareness, your ability to understand other people's feelings and actions and see things from their perspective. As I try to close my final word to you tonight, my friend, I want to repeat again. There are dreams, relationships that are around you. They don't need more effort. They need more awareness. Some things around you right now, they don't need more effort. They need you to be more conscious of the other party. Some of you are struggling right now with relationships simply because you have not allowed yourself to see from the other person's perspective. Some of you have refused to contribute to a cause that you have been called to simply because you have not been able to see value in it. This is a clarion call to you tonight. I'm asking you, it's not about being present. It's about being conscious. Conscious not of what to do as much as conscious of what others also can do. Conscious of what others can bring to the table. Conscious of the value that other people have. At this point, I'd like to close and ask you to please use this opportunity to ask me any question. I'm hoping that this is the point where somebody needs to make a clear decision for his life. And this meeting is short tonight because the message is not a long one. Remember, I told you at the beginning that the core message of this interaction tonight is this. You can't give your best when you don't know your best. And you can't work effectively with others if you don't see who they really are. I'm closing by letting you know, awareness is not optional. It is the currency of meaningful living. Thank you, everyone. The floor is now open for questions. And I'm willing to take on the answers if I can. Where I don't have an answer, I'll beckon on some of my friends on the call here to help me with it. All right, Ola, are you here? I talked about you earlier. It looked like when you heard your name, you ran out of the call.
Yes, I am. Good evening, doctor. Good evening, everyone.
You ran away, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's okay. It's understandable. You didn't want to come through for me. All right. Any questions? I'm willing to take questions. Maybe you have done the personality assessment test before. You need some clarity somewhere. I'm willing to take questions. Don't say the message is very simple. It was not complicated. It was not complex. Sometimes these things need to be as simple as this to be profound. Dr. Olubumi Oti, your hands are up. Please unmute yourself and let's have your question before my brother Samuel Ogbaji will ask his question.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Dio. This class has been so profound. We are grateful for the gift of you in this community. All right. So I want to ask, I really want you to throw light on managing that you are self-aware. You really want to be self-aware. You are conscious of yourself, but we still have some troublesome individuals, especially at workplace. So where can we, at what point can we really demarcate this? Okay, I'm self-aware, or I want to be self-aware, but I have cynic in my place. I have the slackers. I have the pebbles in the shoe. I have the diver. So please, can you just throw light, being self-aware and the ability to manage them well with your self-awareness? And when do you turn back? And when
Okay.
do you continue? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Oti. Thank you so much for your question. And thank you always for coming to attend our
Thank you.
sessions. It's always encouraging to see that the community is building up and helping ourselves to grow. Yeah. So, again, if you look at what I have on the screen, I said self-awareness is also knowing your triggers. Your triggers here mean the things that cause you to do what is irrational. There are people in our lives that by their behavior, by their conduct, they cause us to misbehave. So they tempt us to behave in a way that we will not be proud of. And that's where we have a responsibility to grow. The moment you understand that this is a trigger, remember, I didn't put your trigger as a weakness. I deliberately wanted to separate it. So your trigger is that thing that prompts you to act. And oftentimes the actions may be irrational. And there are people like that. There are people that we work with that we call them hoarders. They have information that you need for success, but they hoard it. And the moment you know they are hoarding information, you want to either shout or compel or coerce them. But the question here is, how does a hoarder release information? And this is where growth comes for all of us. We will never be able to force people to do what they want to do and think that that approach will be sustainable over time. Your responsibility is to learn, how do I influence a hoarder? How do I influence a cynic? How do I influence an accuser? How do I influence a mocker? How do I influence someone who is a provoker? How do I influence someone who's an egoist on my team? Because their behavior always will cause me to do things I do not want to do. And guess what? You can't hold them responsible for your behavior because you got mastery. You got to have mastery over your own behavior. So what I'm asking you to do is identify those triggers of yours and then go on a personal development journey to say, these people in my life, this is who they are. and these things they do trigger me to behave in this manner. How then do I? It's a journey. I think you first of all find yourself a formula. That formula I just shared with you now. First of all, identify yourself, know what these people are, and then what they prompt you to do. What is people's behavior prompt you to do? The moment you're able to discover what they prompt you to do, you then begin to take decisions, and your decision could be avoid them or live above their behavior. And these are some of the examples that you will come with. Avoid them. For example, somebody who's a hoarder, somebody who hoards information, you've got to go formal on the person, very formal. You will lean on formal policies or procedures to get such a person to release what they have. You can't plead with such people. You can't beseech those people. You can't persuade them. They are hoarders. But if there is a formal policy, there is something legal, then such people will release. For those who are accusers, their responsibility is always to pick a fault or to be fault finders. What you want to do for such people is that you live above them. You ignore the accusations. Just ignore and trust yourself enough to be on the right path. Some of us have bosses that never see any good in us, or we have colleagues who always are picking holes in our work. You've got to ignore them. Just ignore. And there are people that we call mockers. When they mock you, what do you do? Bishop Oyedepo will say that when people are mocking us, tell them God is making you. The idea is that you just want to focus on what is good. Some people mock the quality of your result. Maybe it's not good enough. Yes, you agree. But focus on your growth. Focus on your potential. If people are mocking you, you have colleagues who mock you, focus on what you are doing that is growing. Focus on what you're doing that has the possibility of getting you to be a better person. And there are people that are provokers. How do you attempt to deal with people who are provokers? They know what to say to you, or they know what to do to you to get you angry. They know how to get under your skin. What you want to do to such people again, maybe is to avoid them. And when you cannot avoid them, you possibly look for some behavioral approaches. Some people say they count 1 to 10. Some people say they count 1 to 5. Some other people say, you know what? They escalate. They report it and say, Mr. XYZ does this to me a lot of times and makes it. They formalize the issue. They formalize that relationship or that act as a form of protection for themselves. Okay? Ms. Oti, Dr. Oti, I hope that helps. So, again,
Yes,
we have done.
yes,
If you will go on our YouTube channel, Joshua, I asked
yes.
you to please drop on the chat the
Okay.
YouTube channel. You've not done it. If you go on our YouTube channel, you would find a video where we talked about how to deal with difficult people.
Okay.
There's a video that we talked about how to deal with difficult people. Joshua, if you're able to find it very quickly, can you please drop it in the chat? I thought we were working together, but it doesn't look like you're working with me tonight. Joshua, drop the link to the YouTube channel. That's the YouTube channel link on the chat. Thank you, Joshua. If you can find that particular video, that episode where we talked about how to deal with difficult people, please also drop it. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please try and subscribe. All right, thank you. Brother Samuel Ogbaji, the Forex Apostle, you had your microphone unmuted earlier. Please, you have the floor now.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor, for this time. It's really wonderful. So I would like to raise a concern I had. Yeah, many years ago, I ran a personality test. Okay. And the results is quite different from the result I currently have from a test I ran last year. So part of the result I had for the first time I ran it, this is I was extroverted. I know I was observant and all, so I fell in the ES something. But right now, the result I'm currently seeing out for this year is ISTP. I really don't understand the major interpretations, right? So one of the things I would like to ask is it that over time your personality traits tend to change? Yeah. Then another time I was trying to, this book, Why You Act the Way You Do, where you try to figure out whether you're a sanguine, melancholic, choleric, or phlegmatic. And at some point, I saw myself largely playing in the choleric melancholic field, but right
Okay.
now I can see a lot of feel and sun. So it's uh, at some point it gets a bit confusing to understand that what's going on. So is it that the traits change, and does it just alter your life entirely? And I'm also trying to balance this thing. Yeah. So at work, I'm the kind of person that I try to avoid issues. If I typically know that I'm going to have an issue with you, I'll probably just cut you off entirely. All right. If I have to relate with you, all right, then I have to keep it very formal. It's an email or whatever it is. But sometimes I think it also has a way of not hurting me as a person, right? Because I have to internalize all these things. I have to keep all these things, bottle them up. All right. So I'm trying to figure out a very good way where being a very good leader at the same time not hurting myself, right? So I'm trying to find a balance there. I really hope you could just help me provide some clarity to this.
Sure. And I think we do this very, very well in my company here. All right, are you on this call? And I think listening to this
Yes.
question. So I need
Yes.
you to respond to Samuel.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sam, for asking that question. So, your your personality doesn't really change per se, right? Because your personality is your consistent way of thinking, feeling, and acting. And when it comes to your temperament is actually more, say, it's more, it's more scientific, or it's more linked to your system, how your system, is built. So it can't really change. But what happens is that the way our personality is expressed as we grow and mature and we learn skills. So, for example, now as a male, you can build skills that make you more relaxed or make you seem as though you are not so male. But your personality has not changed. You have just grown and added skills that give you a different expression. So your personality is very, very consistent. For it to change, there will have to be some high level of trauma that hits it. And then some parts become, say, more relaxed and not as dominant. But your personality is very consistent. It's just that in different, environments, some aspects of your personality shine more. But if you really look at yourself, if you really take time to take account of your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors, you will find that it is consistent. But different, people or situations or things have made you to express yourself in a different way, across areas. So I hope that helps.
Yes, all right. Thank you very much. Let me add just a little bit more for Samuel, the Forex apostle, to say, Sam, your temperament, sometimes we refer to them as our inborn traits. Your temperament is like your inborn trait, you're born with it. But your personality is your developed trait. Because over time, you have had to groom it. I think that's the key word, groom it. You groom it. And you groom these things by experiences. Just like Aurea said, you groom this by experiences. And for your temperament, it is stable. Okay, it's stable. Whereas your personality can be more flexible and can be influenced by personal growth. So you have grown over time and you realize that you who used to be extroverted, you are now seemingly more introverted. It didn't mean that you were never introverted, or it didn't mean that you have stopped being extroverted. It just means that you have grown to express your extroversion in a different context entirely. Okay, so that means the expression of your personality, the expression is influenced. So our temperament is innate, is born, we're born with it. Our personality is developed, okay? While our temperament is stable, it doesn't change. Over time, your personality becomes flexible. And so I think the focus of our lives should really not be on the temperament as it should be on the personality, because we already, you always talk to us, you always teach us this nature versus what's the second part again?
Nurture.
The nature versus nurture thing. That nature is temperament. Nurture is the effect of environment on your temperament. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It is the effect of the environment on your temperament. Over time, it now shifts. And guess what? The moment you become conscious of yourself, you now see that, oh, I think I prefer to be someone who is more this. There are some people that go to work, and guess what? They are very introverted at work. But when they get home, they are the talkative, they are the extroversion, they're extroverted at home. And so there's what we call in psychology, what we call the person schema, and what we call the role schema, right? The person schema is who you are. But the role schema is who you are when you hold onto different titles or different roles. So I'm the group talent of my company, for example. You are the group head of talent for your company, for example. And everybody at work seems to see you as very introverted. You only speak by email. Yet when you go home, your family members are wondering if this is the kind of person you take to work because you talk a lot at home. You get that kind of thing. Some other times you realize that you are the one who doesn't talk at home. The people at home don't even wonder. They wonder whether you can even say anything to influence anybody. So they are surprised that you are the one that is giving the valedictory speech for your graduation. They are wondering who or giving valedictory speech. Who is she? How? The family members are surprised. But guess what? The environment in school has enabled that part of you to be more dominant and more expressive. So, Samuel, it is not because you are different, it is because you have been shaped by experiences. And like Ore said, sometimes our temperaments are knocked off significantly by trauma. I hope that helps you.
Yes, it does. Thank you so very much.
But we're willing to take you on next month on
Yeah.
helping you to understand your personality. Ore is going to be facilitating that session. It's going to be very powerful. You
Awesome.
take your test, and she's going to take you on a journey of understanding who you are, even as an adult.
Yeah.
Am I changing, or am I having bipolar disorder or something, multiple personality disorder? Is that my challenge? I'm sure
Yeah.
that's not what it is. Yeah. So, but take the test and hold on to this with this response we're giving. I'm hoping that it can help you till then.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Well done. Thank you. Do we have any more questions so that we can try to wrap it up tonight? Some of you are in the choir. You want to score your songs one more time. Some of you are trying to get ready for church. Some other people, you just want to catch up with the latest series. All right. Dr. Uyi, anything for us from your end?
Nothing, sir. Well understood lecture. I think I've come to like a good understanding of self-awareness and also the social awareness concept you spoke about.
Great.
Because I think I was more of self-aware than socially aware. Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much for this.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right,
Thank
everyone.
you, Dr. Dio. Thank you.
Thank you. All
Thank
right. So
you.
I want you to look on the screen. We have an invitation. I have this invitation. This is next week. I think it's on a Sunday. It's going to be next week, Sunday. I'm going to be anchoring this. I'm going to be inviting 3 of my friends. Dr. Michael Ogu is the Chief Human Resource Officer at Canary Point Limited. He's currently Global President for Association of Elite HR Professionals. He's going to be on the session with me on workplace conversations. Then we have Oluwayemi Ogundano. Oluwayemi Ogundano is the Human Resource Business Associate at VFD Group PLC. She's going to be with us also. I was with Yemi earlier today, and she's looking forward to being at the session tomorrow on Sunday. And Oredola, whose voice you just heard tonight, organizational psychologist at Nathan Gage. She's going to be on the panel. And we're going to be talking about how to redesign work, how to build roles that work for you and the organization. Many of us need to understand that the world of work has changed, but the future of jobs are evolving. I don't know if you heard that statement. The world of work has changed, but the future of jobs still evolving. How then do you design work that suits you. Some of us, the things that interested us 5 years ago. I have a friend, I have a good person on this call. I mean, we're surprised to see you on the call. EA, we're just excited to see you on the call. We're excited. As we just chatted to ourselves by the side and say, oh my God, EA is on this call. So thank you for honoring us, and we are excited to have you. So, but I mean, EA once told me, she said, I was in sales. Yeah, I think you said you also moved to customer service, or you did something admin. I can't remember what you said. You moved from one function to another function until the function you now currently hold. I mean, and such possibly may be the case of somebody here on this call tonight who is saying, my interests are shifting. My interests are shifting. And how do I get ready for the world of work? I don't like what I'm doing anymore. So we want to talk about this next week. How do we redesign work? How do you build a role for yourself that works not just for you, but for your organization? That's what we're going to be unlocking next week. We invite you. Dolapo, my colleague, has dropped a link on the chat for you to please register. If you want to be a part of it, please register. We will love to invite you. Please. Yes, EA, thank you for sharing. You said you want many hats. You admin, sales, customer experience, and HR. I mean, how then do you position yourself for the future? You are a multi-skilled, multiple person, and hoping that you will help us lend your voice also next week when we come. And one day we will have you grace our platform as one of our speakers. All right, everyone, it's a great pleasure. I really enjoyed my time with you tonight. Always a pleasure sharing thoughts with you and hoping that this was useful. For those of you who have taken the test, please, by all means, send us an email at hello@nathanlitgate.com. Send your email to us. Let us see what your personality assessment test is like. Oredola and myself will bring you together and will help you to unlock it so you can make the most of yourself and make the most of the relationship that you have. Having said this, have a beautiful week ahead of you. Ensure you make the best of life because life is most meaningful when you add value to other people. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye. Okay, Dolapo, do you want to drop the invite again? Somebody's asking that you should drop the invite again on the chat. Please do so. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We will see you again next week.